Have you noticed the price of food lately? It is really high, which is why Mairlyn Smith is helping us out. Listen, food is not cheap. No, it is not cheap. So you have to plan. You have to be good about it. You have to think about the cuts of meat that you're buying. And a lot of us don't necessarily understand what's going to be for a lower price or what you should be using to make certain recipes.
You are so good. Okay, you obviously took home Ec 8 because basically in school we learn that because when you go to the grocery store, I think people look at, oh, that looks like a steak, and then they stick it on the grill and it doesn't work out, and they go, oh, that was bad meat. It has nothing to do with that. You cooked it incorrectly.
Right.
And so Canada Beef has got this great labeling right now, and so they're giving you hints. So this is called a simmering steak, and so simmering means you're going to cook it in liquid. All right. Now, when I was in university, UBC, I had to learn the cuts of the meat on a steer. Okay, now I did. I had to learn and how to cook them.
Okay, good.
And so I just wanted to share this with you because I made up a song so that I could learn this.
Of course you did, Mayor.
Of course I did because I'm a nut. Anyway, okay, so here goes. All right. Oh, the chuck, the rib, the loin, the sirloin, the round, the flank, the plank, the brisket, and the shank. Hello. Yay!
You remembered it, right?
You know what? I was looking. I was cheating. Anyway, when I was in Second City, I was the worst make-a-song person ever, and now we know why. Anyway, but I think and this is also not a pointer. It's my son. When he left home, he left me this.
His maple leaf stick.
It's a maple leaf mini stick.
They
switched teams. Anyway, okay. So the chuck, the brisket, and the shank. These are locomotion muscles, and so you have to cook them with moisture. Right. And they're going to be the least expensive. And so when you go to make a stew, that's what the stew beef is made out of. So
it's going to be tougher.
It's tougher, but more flavorful. Okay. And if you cook it correctly, it's going to be tender and beautiful. Yes. But if you grilled a steak from that area, not so good. And that's not the actual steer's problem. That's the way you cooked it. Okay?
Right.
So now if you find that you've got stew beef that's not on sale, you could always cut up a pot roast, or you could cut up another kind. This is a cross rib, and this one is an inside blade. So you could cut those yourself to make your own stew meat. Okay. So whatever's less expensive, you could do that, and then freeze it. And I'm eating out of my freezer this month.
Well, I love that you're doing that, and I've been following along because there's a lot of things in the freezer we don't end up going back in there and using it. Use it. You will save money if you eat from your pantry and your freezer.
That's right. Always shop your pantry and your freezer first before you go to the grocery store.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's your little meat lesson. There's a whole bunch of information in Homegrown, the book that I wrote with the Ontario Home Economist, because we're celebrating Canadian foods.
So good.
Now we're going to make a pot roast. A stew.
Yeah,
I lost my mind on the pot roast. Okay, so all right. So we're going to do it in the slow cooker.
You put on your subtle gloves, please.
I did. Jazz hands. Every time I wear them, people tweet me. Okay, so here I got them at Kitchen Plus. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now. So you're going to brown it. Now, when I used to do crock pots or slow cookers, whatever you want to call it, I used to stick it all in there, and it never has the same flavor.
As if you brown it first.
So this is a recipe by home economist Barb Holland, who's a fantastic recipe developer, and she actually browns the meat first. And you'll know, I don't know if you noticed, but there's no flour in there, because we're going to use another Canadian product, barley, as the thickener.
Nice.
So, okay, so after that's browned, you stick that in there, and then just to speed TV up, I already browned the carrots and the onion and the garlic.
And if you don't brown that first, you're just not getting the same flavor, once again, like the meat?
Exactly, and it's a different kind of a flavor because you're caramelizing the naturally occurring sugars in the carrots and the onions, so you're getting another layer of flavor.
Right.
Don't put those in yet.
Oh my God,
don't touch. Okay, so.
Leave the peas.
Leave the peas alone. Now, normally what you would do, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to pick this up, it's going to be too hot, but your recipe's on the website, or my recipe's on your website. Is it your recipe on my website?
Whatever.
No, anyway.
Probably both.
So what I would do is I would add the beef broth. Okay, once again, I really like Lifestyles from Metro because they have the no salt added.
Right.
And I would add all that too, and then scrape up those brown bits.
The flavor.
Because that's the flavor to go in there, exactly.
Right.
So you can start dumping that in there. That's the pre-measured beef broth.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about tomato paste because that's a really concentrated, fabulous ingredient. Don't spill on your fabulous outfit.
Okay.
Okay, good. Do you want me to shield you?
Way.
Okay, good. Good for you.
No, I'm good.
So
I'm a pro.
You are. That was good. Okay, so tomato paste. Let's have a little lesson on tomato paste. So you can buy it in a can, which is really economical. Yeah. But most people end up throwing it away because they don't use all, and it's only a tablespoon in there, right?
So can you just use it all?
No.
Okay, fine.
What? No.
What should we do?
Too intense. So you can do two things. So you can get the rest of the can and throw it onto a sheet lined with wax paper or parchment paper and freeze it. And then freeze these little blobs and put them into, when it's frozen, put it into a bag. So that's one way to save money.
Smart.
And not throw your money away, because even though groceries are going up, we throw 40% of our food away.
No.
So that would be another place that you would be throwing. Yeah, exactly. Or you can buy them in these tubes, and I love that it's in a tube and you just squeeze it.
Smart.
Isn't that smart?
You're probably paying more money for that.
It is. It's more expensive, but once again,
you're not going to waste.
It might, and basically, if you end up throwing all that out, you would probably be easier to buy this one.
For sure.
So totally your call. Okay, back to here. Okay, so then we're going to add all the spices, which I forget. I think that's thyme.
Yep.
And cracked pepper.
Yep.
And iodized salt. Remember putting iodine into your
iodine.
food. A little bit of brown sugar, and you could
Nice.
use totally maple syrup if you wanted to. I'm going to not splash you. That's vinegar, so we're going to put some vinegar in. And then here's our secret ingredient. Now that's our barley.
Canadian barley.
Canadian barley.
You use it in a lot of your recipes and homegrown.
I do.
So it's a good, what do I call it, a grain?
It's a grain. It's a whole grain. Okay, now it comes in pot or pearl.
Okay.
And the difference between them is that the pearl has got a little bit of the outside insoluble fiber removed, but they're both really high in soluble fiber.
Okay.
And soluble fiber is what reduces your cholesterol. And so they're both really good at. They got a health claim from Health Canada, so that's a big deal.
Use your barley.
So we put the lid on that. You stir that up. You're going to cook that for forget. Anyway, so whatever. And then when it's almost done, you put Canadian frozen peas on it. And mix it up. And there's comfort food in a bowl. It's heart healthy. It's economical. It tastes like love.
Is there anything you've taken out of your freezer and you thought this did not go well so far that you've been eating out of your freezer?
No, everything's been good. And
Everything's been good.
Everything's been good. Actually, I've been going, I'm a genius. Anyway, so
you are.
I'm an alchemist in the kitchen. I think the one that surprised me the most was there was a chicken breast that was looking a little freezer burny.
Yeah.
And so you can either cut that little bit of freezer burn off, or you can make it into a simmering sauce too. So I made that chicken thing with the pasta.
Oh,
that one.
Good.
That was really good. Yeah,
that was a smart way to do it.
Good.